All right, let's look at a few more verses of the Daodejing. Let's let me get to it. Let's look at verse 10, which says, "Can you coax your mind from its wandering and keep to the original oneness? Can you let your body become supple as a newborn child's? Can you cleanse your inner vision until you see nothing but the light? Can you love people and lead them without imposing your will? Can you deal with the most vital matters by letting events take their course? Can you step back from your own mind and thus understand all things? Giving birth and nourishing, having without possessing, acting with no expectations, leading and not trying to control. This is the supreme virtue." So what is this talking about? It's talking about a lot of things, but predominantly I see a lot of expression of Wu Wei in here. Can you, in the middle of the first part there, can you love people and lead them without imposing your will? That's Wu Wei. Can you deal with the most vital matters by letting events take their course? That is Wu Wei. Can you step back from your own mind and thus understand all things? That's sort of a Wu Wei of thought. Having without possessing, acting with no expectations, leading and not trying to control. This is the supreme virtue. It's also very clearly Wu Wei. The hard copy version of Stephen Mitchell's Daodejing has some notes on each verse. He refers to this third line here, "Can you let your body become?" He says, literally, in the original Chinese, it's something like, "Can you concentrate your qi until it becomes," your vital energy. So again, it's hard to separate the philosophical from the more magical, the more mystical, the psycho-physical exercises of Raja Yoga. This is talking literally about cultivating and focusing qi. And about that line, or saying you should be supple as a newborn child, he quotes a famous New Age thinker, Emily Conrad, who says, "There is no self-consciousness in the newborn child. Later on, the mind wanders into self-images, starts to think, should I do this? Is this movement right?" and loses the immediacy of the moment. As self-consciousness develops, the muscles become less supple, less like the world. But the young child is pure fluidity. It isn't aware of any separation, so all its movements are spontaneous and alive and whole and perfect. If an adult body becomes truly supple, though, there's a quality to its movement that the child's doesn't have, a texture of experience, a fourth dimension of time. When we watch a 70-year-old hand move, we feel, yes, that hand has lived. All the bodies it has touched, all the weights it has lifted, all the heads it has cradled, are present in its movement. It is resonant with experience. The fingers curve with a sense of having been there. Whereas in a child's hand, there's a sense of just arriving. The child's movement is pristine and innocent and delightful. But a truly supple adult movement is awesome because all life is included in it. So in that simple phrase, supple as a newborn child's, that encapsulates what it means to be one with the Tao. Also, that phrase, can you cleanse your inner vision until you see nothing but the light? Until you see nothing but the light. He quotes that's when your heart is at peace. He quotes the modern Indian sage Ramana Maharshi, who said, "There is no greater mystery than this, that we keep seeking reality, though in fact we are reality. We think that there is something hiding our reality, and that this must be destroyed before reality is gained. How ridiculous! A day will dawn when you will laugh at all your past efforts. That which will be on that day you laugh is also here and now." And then finally, toward the end, can you love people and lead them without imposing your will? Emily Conrad again says, "The more supple your body is, the less dictatorial you'll be. The military stance is the most invasive stance that you can possibly take. Its opposite, the boneless, wishy-washy posture of someone who doesn't stand for anything, is just as unhealthy. Suppleness is really fluidity. It transcends strength and weakness. When your body is supple, it feels like there's no barrier in you. You can flow in any direction. Your movement is a complete expression of yourself. That is both being one with the Tao and expressing your chi. Then finally, can you handle matters by letting events take their course? Literally in the original Chinese, that's by becoming the female. Mitchell says the Ho Shang Kung commentary says, quote, in arranging one's life properly, one should be as calm and flexible as a woman. So, by letting events take their course means by becoming a female. Remember that males are a bit obsessed with the yang when there should be a complement, a complementary equality with yin. Yin is suppleness. Yin is letting go. Yin is vital to Wu Wei. All right, let's look at verse 15. Here we go. Verse 15 says, the ancient masters were profound and subtle. Their wisdom was unfathomable. There is no way to describe it. All we can describe is their appearance. They were careful as someone crossing an iced-over stream, alert as a warrior in enemy territory, courteous as a guest, fluid, it's fluidity again, fluid as melting ice, shapeable as a block of wood, receptive as a valley, clear as a glass of water. Do you have the patience to wait till your mud settles and the water is clear? Can you remain unmoving till the right action arises by itself? That's Wu Wei. The master doesn't seek fulfillment. Not seeking, not expecting, she is present and can welcome all things. Those last three lines, that's a beautiful expression of Wu Wei. By the way, Mitchell says that, so sometimes he presents the master or the sage as feminine. She is present. And he defends that by saying that the original classical Chinese is very ambiguous about whether we're using male or female. And again, as I said a moment ago, we males particularly tend to underemphasize the importance of yin and its role in Wu Wei. There are other things in this verse. In his commentary, he talks about this phrase, till your mud settles. Mud stands for concepts, judgments, desires, expectations, everything that obscures and narrows reality. The master's life is pure and placid, predictable like the seasons, obvious like the moon. When our mind-heart becomes transparent, the light of the Tao shines through. And then the water becomes clear. The water is clear. I asked my old teacher, Zen Master Sung San, to comment on this verse, Mitchell says. He said, our mind is like a glass of clear water. If we put salt into water, it becomes salt water. Sugar, it becomes sugar water. Shit, it becomes shit water. But originally the water is clear. No thinking, no mind. No mind, no problem. So Wu Wei is not just about action and inaction. It is about thought and non-thought. And that is our Daodejing for the day.